I saw peas and I was like, why are we doing this? So, but I was like, why peas? We'll sub for farts, lol. I don't know how hard you're joking, but I don't fart on camera, so. Also, I don't fuck around with like fetishization, so hopefully that was just like a lighthearted joke and not like a for realsies thing. So I'm just gonna put that out there now. I've already had to deal with some people on YouTube like the past week, and I banned somebody live last week. So, like, I'm just letting you know. Although the most recent YouTube person, if they're telling the truth, fine, I guess. But, because they, like, explained themselves. But there was one person just being fucking super weird in my comments, and I was like, you need to quit your shit. Because, like, this is not okay. So, because it's usually a mix of, like, Asian fetishization and the belching thing, or just purely the belching thing. Like, there's people on YouTube just for the belches, and they'll be like, well, why aren't you belching anymore? Like, why aren't your belches as powerful as they used to be? I was like, bitch, I'm not doing this for your entertainment. I have gas and it needs to leave my body. Like, what are we doing right now? So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a party trick. I'm not doing this for, like, a certain type of attention. Like, I don't like fetishization, like, in any way, shape, or form, for me or for other people. Like, I'm not okay with that. So, you know what I mean? Am I full? I have to, like, think about this. You know what? It was probably this. It was probably the protein drink. Oh my god. See, bad pairing. I shouldn't have done that. But yeah. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow we'll do like some light gaming. This morning we did a very informative geopolitical stream. And people stayed through it, so, like, obviously that worked. So that was nice. At midnight, I was like, I think it's a good time to go through my story post because the world is on fire and I'm pissed off. And I have a headache. So I went through all of my story posts and then some TikTok posts. And I shared, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different either GoFundMes or Tiltifys of people who are seeking mutual aid for whatever reason. There's medical debt, there's helping a family with, like, funeral costs and, like, other lost income after the death of their family member. Oh yeah, funeral. One died from complications with COVID, and they were a disabled disability rights activist. One was murdered by the police after having a mental health situation and was brutalized by the police. And that was in El Paso. And so 1, 2. One has medical debt. She streams on Twitch, but she does more of her disability advocacy on Instagram. So 1, 2, 3. What was the other one? Was it just 3? Was it just 3? Those were the 3 main ones I was trying to show. And then, like, a couple different posts about Indonesia and what's going on there, and how there's, like, parallels between Indonesia and what's going on in our motherfucking country. like the rich getting richer and like rewarding themselves with more money and shit like that, and like trying to create an even bigger disparity between rich and poor, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Like what else was in my I did story posts where I was pissed off. I was like, you know, if you are in any capacity on any of these platforms and like not in any way talking about the shit that needs to be talked about, it's kind of like, who's gonna be your audience when everybody's disappeared off the streets or detained or deported? Because most of my audience, like, yes, they're like creepy white people lurking, but like most of my audience is not white. Most of my audience is neurodiverse. They are LGBTQIA2S+. They are not white. You know what I mean? Like most of my audience is not a cis-het rich land-owning white guy that's neurotypical and able-bodied. Like most of my audience isn't that. So it's just like, what are you gonna do? Because the racists can't tell us fucking apart. They can tell some of us are tan and some of us are pale, but they're gonna just clump us in as like, oh, Asian bad. You know what I mean? Or like Asian foreigner. You know, and you know, that's how like racial profiling works. They just clump us all together because they can't fucking tell. And even if they could tell, like, why would it be okay for like some of us to be dehumanized and like detained and like separated from our families and like financially burdened over some bullshit, and then some of us not? Like, it shouldn't be okay. It shouldn't be okay that any of this bullshit is happening. You know what I mean? So it's just like, if you care about your financial stability, if you want to do it from that viewpoint, which I don't want to do it from that viewpoint, but sometimes that's a viewpoint people need to take. If you want to do it about your own self-survival, you need to talk about this shit, because what happens when your viewers are all detained or deported or, you know, taken by ICE or, you know, taken by whoever? Like, who's gonna be watching your stream then? You know? And like, that's the same thing with like accessibility. So like, I hate my stream right now because I don't have any open captions right now. And I really try to make all of my streams as accessible as possible in like every shape, way, form that I can. So like right now we're not very accessible, and I hate that for me. And it's like, people don't think about masking because of the way COVID's been worded. It's like, oh, you're not disabled, chronically ill, immunocompromised, you're not an old ass piece of shit. You know, like, you don't have to wear a mask because you don't fall in these categories. But the thing is, like, anybody you meet could be disabled, chronically ill, immunocompromised, or the dependent of, or the caretaker of, or the sole financial supporter of someone who is. So what happens when you kill a 5-year-old's mom who's disabled?